Herodian, Book 2, Section 9. While Niger was letting his imagination run away with him by getting excited over empty, uncertain hopes, the news reached Pannonia and Illyricum and the whole army of the Danube and the Rhine that was stationed there to protect the Roman frontier from the incursions of the barbarians across the river. The whole of Pannonia was under the united command of Severus, a Libyan. He was an efficient, vigorous administrator, well used to a tough, vigorous life, and not afraid of undertaking physical hardship. But he was quick to make decisions and acted upon his decisions promptly. When he learned from reports that the Roman Empire hung in the balance, he decided to seize it by leveling accusations against the one for his procrastination and against the other for being dogged by ill fortune. The thing that persuaded Severus was dreams that gave him a hint of hope in this direction, and oracles and other signs that assist in forecasting the future. These prognostications are all believed to be absolutely true later, when in actual fact they turn out well. Severus has given an account of many of them himself in his autobiography. I'm just looking down the footnote. It doesn't look like this autobiography is still in existence, but Dio Cassius also speaks of it. So that's unfortunate that we lost his autobiography. And by his public dedications of statutes. But I ought to mention the most recent and most important of these dreams, which was also a revelation of his highest expectations. At the time of the announcement of Pertinax's succession, Severus made the sacrifice publicly and took the formal oath of allegiance to Pertinax as emperor. When he returned to his house, and after he had fallen asleep that night, he dreamt that he saw a fine large house, wearing the imperial trappings, carrying Pertinax down the middle of the sacred way in Rome. As it came to the entrance of the forum, at the point where popular meetings used to take place in Republican days, the horse appeared to shake off Pertinax and throw him down. While Severus was just standing there, the horse got down under him and carried him off on its back without mishap until it stood right in the middle of the forum, where it held him up on high for everyone to see and for to honor. Today, there is still a huge bronze statue on that spot to commemorate the dream. Thus, Severus was encouraged in his ideas and believing that it was by divine providence that he was called to rule. He began to sound out the feelings of the army. The first thing he did was to make overtures to small groups of legionary commanders and tribunes and senior centurions, discussing with them the ruinous state of the empire, brought about because there was no noble or worthy leader to control it. He criticized the Roman garrison for disloyalty and staining their oath of allegiance by shedding the blood of emperors and fellow citizens. In his opinion, the murder of Pertinax ought to be avenged and punished. He realized that all the troops in the Illyricum remembered Pertinax's command. In the reign of Marcus, he had been appointed general and governor of the Illyrian provinces and had won many victories over the Germans with these troops. In battle, he had displayed the utmost bravery in face of the enemy, while to those under his command, he had shown goodwill and integrity coupled with a sensible, moderate exercise of power. Now they honored his memory and were furious at the perpetrators of his cruel murder. Seizing upon this excuse, Severus had no difficulty in winning the soldiers over to his objective, though he pretended that his aim was not so much to lay claim to the empire or to win personal power as the desire to avenge the murder of so fine an emperor. The inhabitants of the district of Pannonia are tall men of fine physique, natural and fierce fighters, but intellectually quite dull and slow-witted when it comes to crafty words or subtle actions. Accepting Severus's protests of indignation and desire for the revenge of Pertinax's murder, they put themselves in his charge by declaring him emperor and entrusting him with the supreme power. Once he knew the temper of the Pannonians, Severus began to send out messages to the adjoining provinces and to all the governors of the people in the north subject to Rome. By dint of extravagant promises to raise their hopes, he won them over without any trouble. He was an absolute expert at deception and giving assurance of his goodwill, but he had no respect for an oath if after he had lied to secure some advantage, he had to break it. He would make protestations by word of mouth, which did not represent his true feelings. And again, that is the end of Book 2, Section 9. I'm going to start my next stream with Book 2, Section 10. Thank you.